Hey Internet, Sarge here. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know that means we're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And we have a whole mix of stories today, a lot of quick hits. We've got BILT rewards, canceling some accounts on accident. We have American Express extending their CLEAR partnership while messing up some 1099s as well. We have Citi and a fun Delta story that made me laugh, so we'll add it in as well. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, we will start lead off with BILT Rewards, everyone's favorite way to pay rent with a credit card. So BILT Rewards accidentally sent out some cancellation emails to folks whose accounts were not actually canceled. So I got this from, it was a combination of Reddit and the good old doctor, but, Richard Kerr, I forget his title, but he works at BILT Rewards, had put out a statement saying, hey, let's do a bad email filter. So those folks got notified again, their accounts are not actually canceled, and they're going to get 250 points, not dollars, 250 points as they make good on that. Hey man, at least the mistakes happen. At least they're giving you some points. You'd always like to see it higher. Maybe 500 feels better, but 250, whatever. Some of the posts I did see were folks, trying to hurry up and get the heck out of town before their stuff got shut down and transferring their points out. So you do have some upset folks who've made some transfers that they necessarily wouldn't have made. And they didn't really need to. Of course, transfers, can't be reversed. Which is also interesting. Because with normal people, you'd imagine if your card gets shut down, you first call the bank or whatnot. Not necessarily try to scoop up all your points and get out of town. That's what we would do. So it kind of tells you who's using the card. Granted, it's a small sample size. You're talking about credit card people on Reddit. But anyways, there is that. So hopefully it didn't happen to you. But if it did, let us know about it down below. Now, with that, we're moving on to Citi. Citi, of all people, being the first ones to do something good. Now, this isn't major by any means. But last week, we did talk about the Trusted Traveler programs increasing in price starting this October. So Global Entry moves from 100 to 120. Nexus gets a massive price hike, moving from $50 all the way to $120 to match global entry, and usually block out that loophole where you could get Nexus and just get everything for much, much cheaper. Well, we had wondered if the credit card companies would bring their credits up to match all the high-end tier cards, not even all the high-end tier cards. Some $95 cards have this credit as well, where you can get Global Entry or TSA Pre or even Nexus. Would they bring the price up to match? And believe it or not, Citi seems to be the first one to do that. But this is for the Citi Prestige, which is still out there. You can't apply for it directly, but it is out there. And then, of course, the American Airlines Executive Card. Now, of course, the rest of the issuers, I imagine, will match as well. We're still pretty early, so I think it'll also be a quiet update. I don't think there needs to be a giant huzzah about it unless they try to make it into a selling point of the card, which I could see American Express probably doing a little bit. But there is that. So good on Citi. I do like Citi, even though I make fun of them a lot. Good for Citi overall. I do wish I knew a little bit more about how that partnership works. Since all the cards have it, I can't imagine the card issuers are paying full price for it, but I don't know. I think earlier when Global Entry first came out and TSA Pre first came out, it was probably a way to help incentivize people to sign up, which did help the lines at the airport. Now the lines are still long, but they do move faster. But we'll have something for that in a little bit. Because if you don't want to get a Citi card, or you missed out on the Prestige, well, one card you could have gotten and can now get again is U.S. Bank's Altitude Reserve card. Now, when this card came out, 2017, I think it was basically a once per lifetime play here on the reserve and the intro offer. But now it looks like that's been quietly updated as well. So you can see it on the screen. We'll put the two new terms, revised terms. Existing and previous U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve Visa Infinite card members are not eligible if you have received a new account bonus for this product in the last 5 years. Don't get me wrong, 5 years is still quite some time, but it's not as bad as, the American Express once per lifetime deal, which may or may not be 7 years. And of course, the Sapphire cards are 4 years, but the most cards fall in the 2-year window. But it's improvement. The U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve does have a cult following of sorts. So, who's to say? I think the U.S. Bank probably at launch, they wanted to protect themselves from people like us. And then, it's been long enough. I was like, okay, let's just go and get some new accounts maybe, so let's loosen it up a little bit. Again, 5 years ago, of 2017. So it's, been a little bit longer than that. So I think that's probably what happened. Again, I say this every time. I always wish U.S. Bank was more competitive and better than they were because they know how to be. But you could say that about Citi as well. Now, if you are, in the mood for traveling and, you've got your global entry from those guys already from Citi, or even U.S. Bank has it as well, I think, well, then you also want Clear. And if you want Clear, well, you'll be happy to know that American Express and Clear have extended their partnership. Now, you don't have Clear isn't on many Amex cards, but the press release here from the good people at Clear and American Express, you can see it up there. I mean, we love a good press release here, but Clear makes the customer experience safer and easier, bringing predictability to the friction-filled airport experience. We're excited to continue our partnership with American Express. Together, we are committed to delivering the best experiences to our customers and members. That is from Clear's president and chief financial officer. He is such a way with words. Now, you're not really talking that many American Express cards. You're talking about the consumer and corporate cards. Small business platinum cards have the statement credit up to $189 per calendar year. From the press release, the American Express Green Card, which I'm a massive fan of if you watch, has the $189 credit per calendar year. And the Hilton Honors Spire gets a statement credit of $189 per year as well. I mean, honestly, if you use Clear a lot and you do it, then that alone, the Clear credit does more than make up for the annual fee of the Green Card. We don't need to go into my disdain for the Green Card. I'm still a huge Amex Aspire fan, even though it's not for me, but I still think it's a pretty good card. So I'm not mad at them having the Clear credit extended. I think that's the right call, and Clear itself has been trying to expand into other arenas, literally other arenas than size airport, just airport access. So there's that. Again, I'm still waiting for the Clear TSA pre-partnership that we talked about a few months ago. Like there was talk about them to kind of combining, because really if you have Clear, you also have to have TSA pre-check as well. Minimum, it just doesn't make sense if you just have one without the other to, go through Clear, and then you don't have to go through the lengthy scan. So anyways, good on American Express. We have seen them, be up in the air about some credits staying or going. Well, this is one that you no longer have to worry about. Now, once you've gone through all your airport rigmarole that we've been talking about, Delta is also trying to get you on the plane faster. Well, maybe. They think they are. I'm not really sure how, but they think they are. So this story was sent to me by Jeremy. Some of you know him. And it was just funny. So Delta, what they're doing here is they're changing the name of the boarding zone. So if you don't fly Delta, it's like first class, sky priority, comfort plus, then main 1, main 2, then like back of the plane, zones or whatever they call them. They're now switching them to be like zones 1 through 8. Now, apparently they used to do this back in the day, I think up to 2019. I don't really know what they think this is going to do. They're saying, hey, it's going to be easier to understand, for people to understand when to get on the plane. But like I've flown Delta enough to know it's not really that confusing. And what the real problem is that sky priority, first class, the people who go down the red rug and like they're really actually uptight about going down the red carpet, that makes sense. But once you get past comfort plus into main 1, everyone just rushes the gate. And like that's kind of what ruins it. I don't blame the flight crew. They're really going to sit there and try to send you back because you're zone 3, not zone 1. I do it myself. That's one of my biggest knocks on the credit cards. They all sell you early boarding, and the early boarding is main 1, which is nice because, you could book the cheapest economy ticket and still not have to be the last person on, which the only benefit, as we know, is putting your bag somewhere overhead. But it just doesn't... I don't know what the point of changing zones is going to do. I don't know what they really hope to accomplish. I don't know if it's that hard to understand now because it says when you board right on your ticket. But it was just, I don't know. I just found it funny. So there you go. Now, something that's not funny in our last story is going to be American Express and 1099s. It's tax time. By the time you're watching this, tax date is Monday. So it means you probably should have been done and filed by now. Well, American Express, this is more so our business, our checking or bank account bonus channel run on the bank. But they had a nice bonus for business checking accounts. It's paying out membership reward points, but there's still a value associated membership reward points, so they have the right to send out a 1099. Of course, they have to if it's above $600. Well, they forgot, and now they're sending them out. So let's take a look at this statement here, which I just found interesting. This is Due to technical issues, we were delayed in issuing a 1099 interest tax statement for 2023 related to the welcome bonus for your account. We realize you may have already filed your taxes for 2023, and we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this issue may have caused you. To make things right, we've issued your 1099 interest tax statement. We mailed it to the address on file, and this person was April 9th. To make it right is misleading, because if we go back to our first story in BILT rewards, at least they gave you 250 points for a far less inconvenient issue, right? Like a far less inconvenient issue. Because again, if they're sending 1099s, they also send them to the government. And, I would just sincerely imagine most people don't know what to do. I mean, you're supposed to file an amendment, add it in there. People don't know what to do with that. And of course, American Express is going to take the stance of not telling you to do that or how it works or anything like that. I don't expect them, because that would fall under tax advice. But I don't know. Again, mistakes happen. But this is to close the show. This is an example of probably how to not handle it, because not only did I not tell you what to do with it, and of course they never were going to, I just said, here you go, to make it right. And yes, technically it does make it right by the law standards, but I don't know, I would have expected something, anything in return for that kind of a headache. But nope, just here's a random 1099 sent, the letter's dated April 9th, so you'll get the 1099 after tax date again. If you're watching this, it's it's going to be Monday, I think. So anyways, there you go. Like I said, grab bag of stories, a lot of travel related, but some decent updates overall. So of course, let me know what else you've seen going on in the week this week, but in the news this week. Of course, if you found this interesting, drop us a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing to the channels. We're posting content just like this every single week. Of course, we're back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on profitablecontent.com, the channel's blog, always linked down below for you, and on the homepage, where we have the latest news stories just like this. We have bank promotions that send out 1099s on time, hopefully, and we have credit card offers like BILT rewards and other cards. We've got them all. You're home for profitable content, if you will. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon next week.